Good morning, students. So in our last classes, we studied about the algae and bryophyta in case of detailed classification of plant kingdom. And in this lecture, we will study about the pteridophyta, that is third subkingdom of plant kingdom. So these pteridophytes, they includes the plants like horsetail and ferns. So they includes the plants like horsetail and ferns. Further, these pteridophytes, they are the first terrestrial plants that contains well-developed vascular system, that is transport system, in the form of xylem and phloem. So pteridophytes are the first terrestrial plants which contains the vascular tissue, that is xylem and phloem. And this xylem and phloem, they are responsible for the transport of water, food and minerals in case of plants. Further, these pteridophytes, they are usually found either in dumpy areas, that is marshy areas, in sandy places or in cool areas. So they are found in cool, dumpy or sandy places, that is they usually occurs in marshy areas which contains the water or more amount of moisture. Next, these pteridophytes, these are the plants whose plant body is sporophyte type. So they contains their main plant body in the form of sporophyte, whereas in case of bryophytes, the main plant body was in the form of gametophyte. But in this case, the main plant body is sporophyte, and this sporophyte, it is differentiated into true roots, stem and leaves. And all these true roots, stem or leaves, they contains well-developed vascular system for the transport of water and food. That means they contains well-developed xylem and phloem in them. The next characteristic of pteridophytes is that their leaves can be either small, as in the case of Selaginella, or the leaves, they may be larger in size, as is the case of ferns. So they contains both type of leaves, that is small leaves which are found in Selaginella and large leaves which are found in ferns. Further, the sporophyte in case of pteridophyte contains sporangia. So this sporangia is present in sporophyte, and this sporangia, it is supported by a leaf-like appendages. So in pteridophytes, the sporophyte contains sporangia, and this sporangia is supported by some leaf-like appendages. And these leaf-like appendages, they are known as sporophylls in case of pteridophytes. Further, these sporophylls may form some specialized structures. These sporophylls may form some specialized structures which are called strobili or cones. So sporophyll forms some specific structures known as strobili or cones in case of Selaginella and Equisetum like pteridophytes. Further, this sporangia, it produces spores. So spores are produced in sporangia, and these spores, they are produced by spore mother cell, that is SMC. Now further, these spores in case of pteridophytes, they are small, they are multicellular, they are you can say they are free living and photosynthetic thalloid gametophytes, which are known as prothallus. So these spores which are formed in sporangia by spore mother cell, वो कैसे बेटा, वो स्मॉल है, वो मल्टीसेलुलर है, वो फ्री लिविंग है, फोटोसिंथेटिक है ज्यादातर वो, और वो कैसे थैलोइड गैमेटोफाइट्स है, जिन ऐसे स्पोर्स हम क्या नाम देते हैं, दैट इज प्रोथैलस. दे आर नोन एज प्रोथैलस. Now the next characteristic feature of pteridophytes is that as the gametophyte in these plants requires the cool, sandy and dumpy areas, so these plants usually found in, as we know, cool, sandy and dumpy areas because the gametophyte requires the cool, dumpy and sandy areas. So habitat of these plants, it is restricted up to a limited or narrow geographical area. That means these plants are limited to narrow geographical area, or they are found in some only in small geographical area. Further, these plants, they are found in cool, sandy and dumpy areas because they require water for their fertilization process. क्योंकि इन प्लांट्स को वाटर की आवश्यकता है उनके फर्टिलाइजेशन प्रोसेस के लिए, इसलिए प्लांट्स कैसे एरियाज में मिलते हैं हमें? कूल, सैडी एंड डंपी एरियाज में पाए जाते हैं. फर्दर, द गैमेटोफाइट कंटेन्स द एंथ्रीडियम एंड आर्किगोनियम, and this antheridia, it is the male sex organ, whereas the archegonia, it is the female sex organ in case of pteridophytes. The male gamete releases, or when it gets released from antheridia. So when male gamete is released from antheridia, it is released at near mouth of archegonia. तो जब एंथ्रीडिया जो मेल सेक्स ऑर्गन है वो मेल गैमेट को रिलीज करता है, तो कहाँ रिलीज करता है? फीमेल सेक्स ऑर्गन के माउथ के पास. और अब ये मेल गैमेट आर्किगोनिया के अंदर जाके और एग सेल को फर्टिलाइज करके जायगोट का प्रोडक्शन करवाता है. सो व्हेन मेल गैमेट इज रिलीज्ड, इट इज रिलीज्ड एट द माउथ ऑफ एंथ्रीडियम, आर्किगोनिया, and then this male gamete fertilizes the egg cell in archegonia and results in the production of zygote. Further, this zygote produced, it gets divided and it results into the formation of a sporophyte. And this sporophyte, in case of pteridophytes, it is the dominant phase. It is the dominant phase of pteridophytes. Now, when these spores, which are produced by sporophyte, okay? So in most of pteridophytes, the spores produced by sporophyte, they are either in similar in size or they are identical, and such spores are known as homospores. Whereas in pteridophytes such as Selaginella and Salvia, they produce two different types of spores. One is larger in size, the other is small in size. Or one is known as microspore and the other is known as macrospore. So such spores, that is the two different types of spores, they are known as heterospores, and they are usually found in the pteridophytes such as Selaginella and Salvia. Now these megaspores and microspores, they further germinates and they results in the formation of the male and female gametophytes. The next characteristic feature of pteridophytes is their female gamete, it retains on the parent body. It is present on the parent body for a variable time periods. Next, the development of zygote into young embryos. The development of zygote into young embryos in case of pteridophytes, it occurs within the female gametophyte. So development of zygote into embryo, it occurs within the female gametophyte. Next, and this event, that is formation of conversion of zygote into embryo that occurs in female gametophyte, it is a precursor event. It is a precursor event for seed habit, and it plays important roles in case of evolution, which is one of economical importance of these pteridophytes. Now these pteridophytes, they are further divided into four subclasses or subgroups, that is Psilopsida, Lycopsida, Sphainopsida and Petrosida. So these are the four subclasses of pteridophytes. Now come to the economical importance of these pteridophytes. So how these pteridophytes, they are economically important to human beings or to living organism. So their first economical importance is that these pteridophytes, they are used in medicinal preparations. They are used in the preparations of cream, jelly, gel and all these. So the first economical importance is that they have a medicinal use and they are used in medicinal preparations. Second, they are also used as soil binders to prevent the soil erosion. they are responsible for preventing the soil erosions and they are used as soil binders. The third economical importance of pteridophytes is that these pteridophytes, they are frequently grown in our houses in the form of ornamental plants. So we have three economical importance of these pteridophytes, that is they are used in medicinal preparations for the preparations of cream, jelly, gel and all these. They are used as soil binders to prevent the soil erosion, and they are frequently grown in our houses as ornamental plants. One more thing, these pteridophytes, they also have evolutionary importance. They also have evolutionary importance. Thank you, students.